We typically think that the translation process is over at this point, the launch, the dedication. But this story is different. The launch was the beginning. It took 30 years for the Etulo New Testament to be translated, drafted, approved, published, and dedicated. At the dedication, church leaders one by one took their moment at the mic. They were grateful, yes, but each passionately stated that 30 years was too long to wait. They took their deep longing into their own hands. The church saw another way, and we call it church-based Bible translation. Etulo translators from the local church started translating the Old Testament. But who was going to validate the translation? Who could ensure the work's accuracy and quality? 50 church leaders across 17 denominations were equipped and trained by expert translators to form the quality assurance community. The church had the tools it needed to get started. Regional church leaders provided the authentication. The result? In 2022, the Etulo quality assurance community checked and approved Genesis in 4 days by dividing the text into portions and distributing it across multiple teams to provide quality assurance. This parallel track approach worked. 6 months later, Exodus. 6 months after that, Deuteronomy, all approved and authenticated by the local church. The local church is at the center of the decision-making and quality assessment process. They know the language, they know the Bible, and they work together to ensure the highest of quality standards. Here's how church-based Bible translation works. Translation teams and quality assurance communities are trained and use high-quality, openly licensed translation resources available in critical languages. Community engagement and conversational drafting come from within the local church. The quality of the translation is reviewed by the church leaders themselves and among themselves. After the quality assurance phase, another committee of church leaders approves and authenticates the translation. When needed, QA mentors coach translators and church leaders, providing external expertise from the global church or Bible translation agencies to support the work. This is how sustainable capacity is built. This is how trustworthy and effective translation becomes perpetually managed through the church. What took 30 years before is on track for a fraction of that time. Why? Because it's in the hands of the local church. And no, the dedication of a new translation wasn't the end of the story. It was just the beginning, as other churches across the world joined the effort to translate the Bible into their heart language through church-based Bible translation.
Nigerian church, I can say, is a vibrant church. It's growing.
Meet Benjamin Jukwey, a Nigerian translator focused on the Etulo translation, partnering with the Seed Company. His team heard about the church-based Bible translation work of Etulo and traveled to see the Quality Assurance Committee in action and how this approach could work for the Etulo team.
When they came, the first week they learned from Etulo. There was a demonstration. They taught the people how to do the CBBT, Quality Assurance Check. We want volunteers from the churches in the Etulo land, pastors and church leaders to volunteer to be part of this. They gave names, about 51 people came up. After that, the translation team now printed out the book of First Samuel. And so they now called them together, they shared it, and they were able to finish from chapter 1 to 20. They were so excited. All the church leaders, the pastors, they are saying that it's now that they know that these people are working. And this work, they want to make sure that they continue until Jesus comes. This process, I think, is a very good process that God has opened the eyes of those people that came up with this process to help fast-track the progress of the work. We help the community to own the project very quickly. So I encourage that for everybody.
This is one story of more than 500 communities engaged in church-based Bible translation across the world, creating access to God's Word in the languages they understand best.